in politics.
Right.
Right. Jefferson, who was in Paris at the time, so didn't attend the Constitutional Convention, called it an assembly of demigods. Now, he was exaggerating, obviously, but the level of respect given to these men at the convention, you know, it's not just Washington and Franklin and Madison and Hamilton. There are lots of people most Americans haven't heard about who contributed greatly to the foundations of the nation. James Wilson of Pennsylvania, one of the unsung heroes of the founding, and many others. Roger Sherman.
Roger Sherman was amazing. Back in just a second. All right. Now I'm going to introduce the blonde who you might say, gosh, she looks like that. You remember that woman on Northern Exposure, except she had brown hair? Yes, Janine Turner is here. She's the actress and founder of the website I love and couldn't recommend more, constitutingamerica.org. Janine, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you very much.
You, when did you read The 5,000 Year Leap? Was it after the 9/12 special?
It was before then. It was around the Tea Party, and when I was on your show at the Tea Party in San Antonio.
Right.
And I read about, you mentioned it about a month beforehand, I believe, and so it's because of you.
There you go.
There you go. I read The 5,000 Year Leap.
If you have not read that book, America, this is the simplest book. I mean, it gives you the principles of America, and you'll get it. You'll be like, oh my gosh, it's a great starting point.
It is.
So you read that, something woke you up, and did you know that? Did you read the Federalist Papers before this, or
no?
No, you had never.
No, I never read the Federalist Papers. Okay. But now it's so fascinating what we're talking about, the fact that the Federalist Papers explain the Constitution, which the American people wanted to know, and that they gave all these essays to the American people.
So you started this website, and you're making a challenge to read the Federalist Papers and the Constitution. I love this. 90 and 90 equals 180, which means 180 degrees in the other direction.
Right.
What is the website, and what is the rate of people saying, yeah, I want to read those Federalist Papers?
Well, you know what? We've had a lot of hits. Kathy is my co-chair. Kathy and I are doing it together. This is Kathy Glen. My daughter's the National Youth Director.
I quizzed her earlier. You make her read it, the Federalist Papers, on the way to ballet, and she actually claims she likes it.
She does.
Unbelievable.
I had them all reading in the tutus before the dance recital.
Unbelievable. Okay.
Okay, constitutingamerica.org. And the goal is to, you know, it says here in Federalist Paper number 27, man is a creature of habit. Well, you know, the Constitution is pretty much not even existent in our culture anymore. So our goal is to educate and bring an awareness about the Constitution and the Federalist Papers, which explain the Constitution, to American citizens and students across America.
You know, I think, and I can't remember now, I think I got this from de Tocqueville. Well, the first time I heard this was, and it took me by surprise, and you said it just a little while ago, you know, people were talking about this in the taverns. And I can't imagine walking into a bar now. I mean, as a recovering alcoholic, I try to avoid imagining walking into a bar now. But, and hearing people sitting up at the bar and going, you know, let me tell you something, you know, that 17th Amendment, you'd be like, what world am I in? But that's really what they used to do.
They did.
And de Tocqueville talked about everywhere he would go, he would hear people talk. You're looking at me like I'm crazy. Was it de Tocqueville? Yeah.
No, yeah.
Yeah. And everywhere he would go, he would hear people have deep discussions. That has stopped. If we start this,
like you're crazy. No.
if everybody was doing what she's recommending, and you have like a tutor or some.
Well, what we do is we're reading we read the Constitution in 5 days and the Federalist Papers in 85 days. And every day we read one Federalist Paper a day. We're on 8:30 now. We have a constitutional scholar, a professor from around the country. They come on and explain it. And then we have a national conversation where people blog and they discuss it. And you'd be amazed, with thousands of hits a day. And then we have a contest for kids. Entries are due July 4th, which is best short film, best song.
Way to make it kind of cool.
To make it cool, yeah.
Yeah. I know I have a hard time. The Federalist Papers are difficult. I mean, the language is just a little difficult. Two questions. One, if we were doing this, would this change the fabric of America? Could we would it be a 180 turn if we all started to really read the Federalist Papers and the Constitution and went, oh, wait. Would that change us?
You know, the state of Louisiana actually requires by law that all students read the Federalist Papers. And I believe they don't mean a couple. I think they mean the 85 essays of the Federalist.
Reading it, though, isn't the same as reading it, living it, discussing it. Reading it by law, it's not going to work. Reading it by choice, that's different.
I think it would change the whole discourse in the direction of the country a lot, because Madison, among the other people, was very much driven by reason. And reason depended on having the facts in front of you and different opinions in front of you, and then arguing them out and coming to a conclusion.
Washington said the battlefield of ideas, which we don't even do anymore. Well, let me ask you this one question. You're using the regular Federalist Papers, the original Federalist Papers.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
People have told me, and I've never seen them before, that that schools are using the, in modern language. Do you guys recommend stay away from that?
Absolutely not. It's like, how can you read Shakespeare without Shakespeare's
I don't really
language?
need to hear Shakespeare. I avoid reading Shakespeare.
Oh, that's too bad.
No, but I mean, it is difficult. Have you read the translated versions?
No.
Okay, I wouldn't myself, because I do believe in the original documents. But I didn't know if you had an opinion on that. You say no.
Oh, I think you should read the original Federalist Papers. Take your time.
Yeah. And the quotes are fantastic, and I could usually pull something out, and they're so relevant.
Yeah,
and we live it every day, and nobody in America realizes they live it every day.
I'm working on a book. I've been working on it for about a year now, and it comes out this fall, and it's about how to fix things. And it's amazing, because I have about 25 people, this pool of about 25 people that I really think are just off the charts smart. And we sat around in a room, this is about 4 months ago. And I just shut my mouth. I told everybody, you just make suggestions. I want you to think about this for about a month, and then you come back and you make suggestions. And I sat and I shut my mouth, and I just say, you, what's your idea? You, what's your idea? What's your idea? And I just made notes and just numbered them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Every single person, when they said their idea, I wrote their idea down, and then I wrote after it, founders did that, founders did that. And I got to the end and I realized, you don't really have to, all you have to do is restore it, because it was all there. We've just ignored it. Back in just a second.